When the elder sister accompanied her parents to buy a house at the sales office, she handed her bag to her younger sister, because the younger sister claimed her phone had died, and wanted to borrow hers, to log in and pay for their parents' house. But when the younger sister opened the bag, she was shocked to find that what the elder sister had in her bag was an old antique brick phone, with no functions at all. It turned out that one day earlier, the girl had exchanged her smartphone for a brick phone with no functions, to stop her scheming adopted sister from planting a virus and stealing her money, because in her previous life as the richest family's adopted daughter, she was taken home by her birth parents while hiding her identity. The adopted sister couldn't wait to act like a perfect filial daughter, and offered to buy a house for their parents. But 2 days later, the girl was shocked to find that the money in her account had dropped by 100,800,000 for no reason. She suspected the adopted sister had stolen it secretly, and planned to confront her face to face, but her father immediately scolded the girl, accusing her of slander, saying this jobless unfilial daughter could never have that much money. Later the girl found out through investigation, it was all because of her scheming adopted sister, who had accidentally overheard her real identity, and also knew that her adoptive mother had transferred her 100 million as pocket money. So the adopted sister plotted against her, and tampered with the girl's phone. The money used to buy the house for their parents was actually all hers. After learning the truth, the girl immediately went to argue with her, only to find out that her fiancé had been cheating with her adopted sister long ago. Furious, she wanted to call the police to punish this evil pair, but the adopted sister feared being exposed, and pushed her into the water. Then she worked with the scumbag, and drowned her alive. Maybe heaven felt sorry for her tragic fate. The next second she was reborn back to the day the adopted sister offered to buy their parents a house. Thinking of her tragic death in her previous life, the girl gritted her teeth with hatred. She swore in her heart that this time she would be fully prepared, and make this evil adopted sister pay a terrible price for her past life revenge. Meanwhile, the scheming adopted sister was acting as a filial daughter, claiming she won 100 million in the lottery, and would buy them a big house. This made the elderly couple overjoyed, praising her non-stop, saying she was better than their own daughter, who knew how to respect them. Unlike their own daughter, who was always stingy, they also said they had tried so hard to get the girl back, and it was all a waste. Seeing this, the adopted sister immediately played peacemaker, telling her father not to be angry, saying the elder sister just had no money and didn't mean it. Then she ran over and asked the girl to go house buying with them tomorrow, saying they were family and no one could be left out. The girl agreed without thinking twice. The first thing the girl did after returning home was exchange her smartphone for a brick phone, and asked the bank to freeze all bank cards under her name. She wanted to see how the adopted sister could steal her money this time. Early the next morning, the whole family gathered in the living room ready to buy a house, and the adopted sister specially invited the girl's scumbag fiancé to come along. But the girl was only a little late, and was scolded by the whole family, saying she was too slow to go out, with no sense of time, and that she was deliberately delaying them, ruining their good plan. Hearing this, the girl immediately said she wouldn't go, and would go back to sleep. This made the adopted sister extremely anxious. She quickly stepped forward to stop her, saying today was a lucky day, and no one could be absent. Then she said she would treat the whole family to a big meal, to celebrate in advance. The girl clapped happily and agreed. Soon the adopted sister took the whole family to the most upscale restaurant in the city. Then she ordered a full table of abalone lobster and king crab, and started eating and drinking freely. The girl just stood beside, smiling and watching without touching anything. As expected, when the waiter came for the bill, the adopted sister immediately started acting, lying that her phone had died, and wanted to borrow the girl's phone, saying she would just log in, pay and return it right away. Thinking of her previous life, this was when she lent her phone to the adopted sister and got her money stolen. So this time, how could she give the other any chance to tamper with it? So the girl stood up immediately and said she had an urgent company meeting to attend. Then before the adopted sister could react, she ran away in a flash. This made the scheming adopted sister extremely anxious. She had no choice but to run over and borrow her father's phone, saying she needed to log in. But after she paid and returned the phone, her father immediately got a call from the bank, saying 800,000 had just been deducted from his card. This terrified the father. He quickly asked the adopted sister what was going on, saying this was the pension money they had worked hard to save. It couldn't just be lost. Seeing this, the adopted sister immediately lied that the call must be a scam, saying she was about to buy her parents a house. How could she spend their pension money? The mother also said her husband was overthinking, saying the adopted daughter could spend tens of millions on a house. How would she care about this small amount of money? Unexpectedly, the father not only believed this lie, but also apologized to the adopted daughter, saying he was just anxious earlier, and shouldn't have doubted his good daughter. All of this was seen by the girl hiding secretly outside the door. Seeing there was no more drama to watch, she immediately pretended to just finish the meeting and walked in, then said she had specially rented a power bank for the adopted sister, so she would never worry about her phone dying again. But at this moment the adopted sister said she was taking their parents to buy a house now, then put down the power bank and hurried out. Soon the whole family arrived at the sales office together. The adopted sister generously chose the most expensive top mansion for their parents, saying it was for their filial piety, and also told the scumbag to choose a large flat, saying she would give it to him. When the sales office manager heard about the big client, he immediately came out to greet them in person, because the several houses the adopted sister wanted to buy were worth over 100 million. The manager reminded her that once signed the contract would take effect immediately. If she defaulted and didn't pay, she would have to pay a huge penalty. But the scheming adopted sister didn't think twice and signed the contract. But when it was time to pay, she used the same trick again, asking to borrow the girl's phone, saying she would log into her account, pay and return it right away. The girl who was waiting to watch the show couldn't miss this perfect chance, so without a word, she handed over her backpack. This excited the scheming adopted sister greatly, thinking the girl's money would soon be hers. But when she opened the backpack and saw the phone inside, she was completely stunned.